good morning, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Monica, and I am a healing facilitator at Always the Heart. And today I wanted to talk to you about headaches, about feeling the need to be in control, and also where all of that could be coming from. So, if you are like me, if you are someone who has a target, has a goal in mind, and wants to achieve it, especially now that it almost seems like the entire world is against us, right? We have to mobilize additional resources to have our goals, to achieve our goals, and to feel like we're actually going after them. You might probably, you probably started noticing that your headaches are getting worse, that your symptoms associated with heads and the muscles behind your head, right here just below your bones of the head, your neck is maybe getting stiff, especially if you're someone working on a computer all day. I wanted to talk a little bit about that and what is going on. So when we look at the body and the metaphorical representation of different parts of the body and what they actually mean, because the body is so clever, it talks to us in metaphors and stories and almost similes. Like, let me give you an example of the head right now. What is the head representing in our body and in our life and in our being? The head is the headquarter, is the command center. It's the central hub from which all of the information then spreads, not only in our thoughts, but also in our bodies. So when we have problems with the head, when we are looking at it from the perspective of what the body could be actually telling us, there's something going on along the lines of issues with control, with the issues of giving commands, and maybe even feeling whether or not your the governing body is being received by those that need to then execute those commands, meaning the entire body. So what is going on right here, guys, is that our headaches, especially increasing headaches, and nowadays, now what's happening in the world are telling us that we do not feel in control, that we feel that we lost that control. And also, if you have issues with stiffness in the neck and with these kind of shoulders, rounded shoulders from typing all day on the keyboard, how are you feeling about your flexibility in life and in your perception to let go of that need to be controlled and to let others take over? How are you feeling when you have those headaches? What have you been thinking about, um, starting with the beginning of the day? Are you giving yourself time and space to really look at really what's going on, to take a breather? And I have noticed in myself and my clients and talking to people, nowadays, yes, we are so disconnected from others. Physically, we're not with them. We're on phones looking down all the time, right? So how are we feeling about controlling what's going on around us? How are we feeling about letting others control what's happening in our lives? Let others demand of us a certain type of behavior. Stay at home, go shopping only once a week, stay away from other people. Do you feel almost like that little puppy, or maybe a lion cub being grabbed by the neck and being carried places by a authority, someone outside of you that is controlling you, almost grabbing your head and pointing it a certain way to look at certain things? So when we look at headaches and what they mean in our life, I would point you back to feeling how you feel about your ability to control your immediate environment, and whether or not you feel the pressure from outside, almost like someone grabbing you from the back and controlling you, where you feel totally out of control, like that little puppy. When you grab it from the neck and carry it up, it loses control, is completely submitted to the authority of the mother. So those are the things that I would love for you to start paying attention to whenever you have headaches. Have you been able to, have you been maybe a little bit too hard on yourself? Maybe the communication that is happening in the head when we look at the body metaphorically. Let's imagine there are little cubicles with people in there talking to each other and really wanting to give you a sense of safety, but there are so many different ways, and also you are limited from outside. How is that communication? Are you maybe a little hard on yourself? Is the headache feeling like there is almost something very heavy sitting on you and like a crown just squeezing your head? Is this how the headache feels? Is it behind your eyes, or maybe it's in the back of your neck where the little muscles that really need your head to sit straight and on top of your neck, now you're pulling the head forwards. There's a loss of balance. All of these muscles are strained. How are you feeling when that is occurring and happening? Thank you for everyone that is paying attention right now, that is joining in. If you're someone who is experiencing increase in headaches within the last week or 10 days, by myself, I have noticed the pattern in me that whenever things are uncertain, I really want to overcompensate for that emotion by really wanting to stay in control, by becoming rigid, by thinking way too many thoughts and wanting to achieve everything right now in this moment because of that sense of unsafety. So what is it that you can do when you have those headaches? Number one, take a break. And if anyone is giving you a hard time, tell them it's doctor prescribed. You need to take a break. And by break, I do not mean getting up and going to the kitchen to wash the dishes or set the laundromat on. By taking a break, I mean just completely taking a break from doing anything. Things that feel like obligation, things that feel like really taking control of the situation just for 3 minutes. Closing the eyes and imagining relaxing, especially on the back of your head, these muscles right here. Imagining them, then letting go. If when you relax these muscles, your eyebrows are going to move because all of that is connected. You're going to notice that. When you relax your muscles, your jaw muscles and muscles in your head, all of the little tiny muscles on your skull are going to start relaxing. And breathing, letting the air in your body. We embrace and really brace the core when we want to achieve something, when we feel not safe. And our breath becomes shallow just for 3 minutes. Put your attention on the muscles and on your breathing. And if you are out of control of everything else that is going around you, I want you to remind yourself that you are in control whether or not you're breathing shallow or deeply, whether or not you're paying attention to your posture and your muscles, or you let the task at hand control the physicality of your body. You're in control of letting yourself take a 3-minute break. You're in control of paying attention to things that are actually increasing the sensation of well-being in you or putting fear in you. Starting to remind yourself of these things and paying attention to the sensations in the body when they're happening in your body. See what's going on with the headache that you have. And if you need to put more attention in a specific place where the headache is, do it. And imagine that place relaxing. Maybe you see it, maybe you can feel it, hear it. Whatever it is, however your imagination works, put your attention on the place that hurts. And when you are in this relaxed state, imagine that this headache wants something from you. And you are now giving it a voice. Almost like you're giving a voice to a toy when you're playing with it. Imagine has a voice, like a bird in a cartoon or a dog in a comic book. What do you want me to do? What do you need, headache? And I immediately had a sensation of a having being outside and being out of the building. That's what I got. Many of you probably are feeling drink water, take a deep breath, take a break. I'm also getting a sensation of that little bit of playfulness. And I really invite you just for today to pay attention to it, to trust the message that comes through. And if you have chronic headaches, migraines, issues with the cervical spine, with pain right here in your neck, rounded shoulders, pain behind your eyes, tension in your jaw, and I invite you to send me a message and let's chat about the solutions for you. This is a general video, and if you have a very specific issue that is bothering you right now, I am open to having a conversation about it today. So if you would like to know what could be the underlying stress behind your specific issue, especially when it comes to the upper part of the body, the control center, the headquarters, let's have a chat about it. And before we disconnect, I wanted to thank each and every one of you that is paying attention, that joined us for this video. And if you need to hear it, then this is your permission to take a break from paying attention to screens, closing your eyes, relaxing your shoulders and muscles, and imagining that your pain has a voice and it needs something from you. What would it be? Just 3 minutes a day. I'm wishing you a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you very much for joining us for this video. Sending you wishes of well-being, and I will talk to you guys very, very soon. Thanks. Bye-bye.